What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another post-game show here on Rangers Central as we are recapping game 73 of the regular season where the Rangers beat the Colorado Avalanche 3-2 in a shootout, a cardiac Rangers affair, a very insane game in terms of the back and forth play late in the game, very tight game early on, which is what's crazy is that out of nowhere it ended up being just a shootout later on in the game. But regardless, the Rangers get the 2 points that they need, and we're going to talk about it. Shout out to everybody watching here as we are past midnight right now. So everybody tuning in late here on a Thursday night, I really do appreciate you. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Leave a like here on your way in. Subscribe if you haven't. Turn on your notifications. If you want a Cardiac Rangers shirt, since it was a Cardiac Rangers affair, this is what it looks like. Link is in the description if you do want a Cardiac Rangers shirt. But a lot to talk about with this game. There's a lot to talk about, so I'm trying to figure out where to put the shirt for now. We'll put it there. But regardless, crazy game. Crazy game. I should have just wore the shirt for tonight, but regardless, insane game in terms of the fact that the Rangers ended Nathan MacKinnon's point streak, which I did not think was going to happen at all. And I don't know how he didn't even get a point on the Devontae's goal late, but regardless, of all teams to end it, it's the Rangers who do it. And in arguably their worst defensive period as well, they ended up doing in a game where in general, I thought they looked off defensively when they went against that line in particular, which is why I'm going to hammer home the point nonstop. This team needs to get home ice. How many times did we watch the Nathan MacKinnon line go out there, hop the boards, and we're sweating our ass off? We're on the edge of our seats, clenching our butt cheeks, shitting ourselves because Nathan MacKinnon's going to go out there and do something special. Did not happen, thankfully. Regardless, home ice is crucial because the matchup, getting a point up there against that line. Granted, in the third period, with the way that they played defense, didn't really matter who they threw out there because some of the effort from the forwards on the back check tonight was just simply questionable at times, to say the least. In overtime, they didn't look great, but the first and second period, they were nails defensively. They really didn't allow much at all, especially the first period. They played arguably their best defensive period in the first. They didn't really give Colorado an inch in that period. The only gripe that I had with that period is that the Rangers didn't generate chances, and that's why I'm trying to understand. Why can't it ever be cohesive? Why can't the Rangers ever play good defensively and good offensively in a period? Forget just a game, in a period. Why can't it ever be cohesive, the effort on both sides of the puck? But regardless, the Rangers played a very good first period in terms of the way they played defensively. And again, I will say this time and time again. I would rather them win games playing good defensively, elite defensively, than getting into shootout matchups, because more likely than not, that is how you win come playoff time. And they did that for 40 minutes of the game, which is very nice. Got to clean things up come third periods there. Nice to see them at least get off to a start, though, where they're not looking garbage out of the gate. And technically it was a come from behind win, but it wasn't in the way that it's been in the past few, at the very least, where they go down 2-0 and then they have to claw their way back in, and we're all pissed off because of we're happy that they get the win, but we're pissed off that they were behind the 8 ball and had to come back from down 2-0 to win. At least in this case, it was not that. But yeah, like I was saying, you don't want to get in these shootout matchups, especially against a team like Colorado. But Igor Shesterkin stood on his head, and you saw the difference between having an elite goalie versus not. Georgiev was not there to make the saves when they needed him to. He was not. And the Rangers did struggle to generate chances pretty much the majority of this game. They probably had their best offensive period in the third, but Georgiev couldn't make the save when they needed him to. And we had our guy, Igor Shesterkin, back there stopping the damn puck every time he was called upon and anytime he needed to, which is why he is my player of the game for the Rangers easily. He was nails. But yeah, like I said, the first period, they didn't do terrible. Like they had one turnover that led to a quality chance. And funny enough, I think the one quality chance the Avs had that first period was from Jack Johnson, or it might have been the Jonathan Drouin chance that they got. But outside of that, they didn't allow much at all. And the Rangers did end up getting a power play. It didn't look good their first power play at all. The Rangers, though, did a very good job killing off the power play that the Avalanche got. They held the Avalanche 11 minutes without a shot on goal. Very impressive stuff, considering the fact that, again, the Avs have been on fire lately, and they need to play a tight brand of hockey. So I'm happy with the way they played that first period. Second period, but again, they needed to generate chances, in my opinion. Second period rolls along. A couple more plays where they were sloppy with the puck, and it felt like the Avalanche had more chances, but they didn't allow much still when they did turn the puck over. It was a lot of just shooting themselves in the foot throughout that entire period, where they just, again, making bad mistakes with the puck, breaking the puck out, getting the puck through the neutral zone, and then even poor forechecking is what I meant to say, would leave the chances the other way, and that's how Colorado was generating what they got, and they end up scoring late. As again, that poor forecheck is what got them the goal. You have just you have a poor play there on the other end of the ice from, I think it was Lafreniere there, and Valley was really getting on him for that play, and the Rangers just allow an easy break through the neutral zone. Colorado comes up the ice, and Keandre Miller has to overcommit on the play. For whatever reason, the second line's not helping on the back check. They're going for a line change there, and then Casey Middlestat nets one to make it 1-0. The guy that I wanted, but regardless, they were realistically not going to get him. But shout out to Casey Middlestat, even though I didn't want him to score tonight because he's playing the Rangers, but still, shout out to him because he's a solid hockey player. Third period, though. Don't know what happened here. I have no idea what happened in the third period. This was just absolutely chaotic. The Rangers, right out the rip, just with a couple of bad turnovers. Panarin had a bad turnover. Chad Ruedel goes into the boards. You think he's done for the game. Thankfully, he comes back out. The Rangers in general had defensemen going in and out of this game nonstop. Pause. But Keandre Miller at one All right, I think we're good now. I apologize, everybody. Are we back? Oh my God, that's bad. Yeah, everything froze. Everything froze. I know. I apologize. I don't know what happened to my internet there. I think we're good now. That's so bad. Oh, why'd the connection have to go out? We're Barack. Everybody good? I appreciate everybody that's stuck through that. Where was I? I think I was talking about the Fox thing. I think he'll be fine. He got hit in the face in the third. I think they just held him out to be safe with things there, which granted, if he was to, I would have loved for him to go back out in the damn game because of the fact that they could have used him in overtime. But regardless, hopefully everything's okay with Adam Fox. I think he'll be okay. Trocheck at one point got hit in the nuts, and you had Joe Micheletti being like, yeah, he might talk with a higher pitch for a bit, but he'll be fine for the third. I'm like, geez, Joe, all right. But like I was saying, Ruedel goes into the damn boards, and that's because of Panarin's lazy turnover there. But the Rangers end up tying the game up at 1. Kakko, turnover from Manson, and Kakko brings it behind the net. He keeps trying to feed Brodzinski in front, and it just goes into the back of the net somehow. That ties the game up at 1. So Kakko gets a goal there unassisted. And then the Rangers' third line goes out again with another very good shift. But then the defense, again, allowing quality chances and turning the puck over. The Rangers do get a power play, a huge timeout, a huge big time timeout there by Peter Laviolette. And that's what makes him a special coach right there, because Gerard Gallant would never. Maybe the bar is just so low because of seeing guys like, I don't know, seeing guys like Gerard Gallant, seeing guys like David Quinn. Regardless, though, big time out there because he had guys like Panarin out there who drew the penalty. Good job there. Panarin fires on goal, goes off a Trocheck. Then in front, Kreider taps it in, almost misses the net, but he buries it 2-1. They challenge it for whatever reason for a hand pass when doesn't Bednar know the rules more than anyone? Like, that's clearly not a hand pass, and it went off of Trocheck's hand. But regardless, that made it 2-1. So the Rangers, again, go to work on a power play and didn't go well at all, the second power play. And then right afterwards, terrible play there by the first line, trying to break the puck out. Mika Zibanejad just gets dogged by Nathan MacKinnon on the boards. Devon Toews then puts it on goal. Kreider not moving his feet there to cover him. And then Ryan Lindgren puts it in his own goal. That tied the game up at 2, which is very annoying. And then, again, turnovers leading the chances. And the Rangers did have a couple chances of their own off of some turnovers, but still couldn't score. And then overtime comes along. And the Avalanche, I thought they were winning the game there because they were all over the Rangers in overtime. The Rangers couldn't handle the puck. Jones had a bad step up in there. You had Lafreniere turn the puck over. But Braden Schneider had a lot of big plays in overtime that I will not let go under the radar. The work that he had on Nathan MacKinnon, there was a rebound in front of the net he ties up on. But then later on, again, Kreider, bad play. McCarr got a chance, lets Devon Toews walk in, and that game could have ended poorly, but the Rangers go to a shootout. Panarin and Trocheck score. Georgiev reeks. Once you went to a shootout, you had to win because Georgiev reeks in shootouts. How many times as Ranger fans were we annoyed whenever the game went to a shootout with Georgiev in goal? Because you knew it was over. You knew they weren't winning the game at that point. So, yeah, huge stuff there. And they got to play better in terms of clean things up on the defensive side come third periods, but they played a good 40 minutes on the defensive side, which is huge. And they scored on a bad goalie, which is also huge. So happy with the 2 points. And they also do have to generate chances. They got to find a way to make it more cohesive, the offense and the defense. They got to find a way there. The first line in general, the top 6 as a whole, I should say in general, the defensive effort from the top 6, not great. The third line was really the only ones that played a solid two-way game the whole way through. In my opinion, that was easily the Rangers' best line. So very happy with the way that they played throughout most of the game. The only mistake I could really think of from that third line is Wenberg at one point had like a really brutal turnover. Outside of that, they played good. The second line was good offensively at points, but in their own end, yikes. That was pretty much the entire team defensively, though, especially the third period where things got tanked. I blame more so the forwards on the back check, though, than anything. That's just me. But regardless, very big win. Very big win. And You had to take advantage there, especially because Carolina won. You had to get 2 points tonight because home ice is crucial. Don't care what anyone says. It's crucial. Get the President's Trophy. Now they're at 102 points. Other teams clinch a spot tonight. Carolina did. Boston, Florida. All those teams clinch a spot. So, and you still got a game in hand on Carolina. But yeah, let's say. Um, sorry, just was looking at something on Twitter there. But let's get to the chance here. You guys have to say, leave a like if you haven't, subscribe if you haven't. And my main takeaway from this game is they got to clean up some of the turnovers. Like I've been saying for weeks now, so much of what the Rangers are doing is in their control. Stop being sloppy with the puck. Like Jimmy Vesey, too, had a lot of just boneheaded plays tonight. Stop being sloppy with the puck. Stop. And that will limit so much of what the Rangers are doing poorly. And yeah, it wasn't a pretty game, Matt. But again, you gotta be happy with the defense for the 2 periods. Offense was absent a large portion of the game, but then fell off in the third. That's what you're talking about the defense. I just wish they could put it together, offensive defense. You and I on the same wavelength as always. Sorry, I was looking at the tweet though that you sent just now before in our group chat that we're in. Paul Bizanek, it's someone who has advanced stat sheets explain to dummy Ranger fans why I said the Avs dominated that game. Last 2 periods, it seems the ice was tilted and Igor went fully Igor, plain simple. Sorry for using my eyes. I mean, I wouldn't say the last two, unless he's including overtime, then yeah, like the third period and overtime was definitely in favor of Colorado. But oh my God, he's just cooking right now. Paul Bizanet is just like in the grill of Ranger fans right now. He is just grilling, and Ranger fans are doing the same back. My God. All right, regardless, let's say felt like a playoff hockey game. First 2 periods, yeah. The third period really did not. Cardiac Rangers are so back. I don't think they went away, to be fair. Bro, we could literally run away with the trophy now. If you mean the President's Trophy, yeah, they could do it. That Islanders win was huge for the Rangers, even. I'm hoping Fox is more careful and precautionary for the Rangers. Think he will be fine, and I'm hoping. That's what I think it was. At that point, they secured a point, and they probably figured, all right, let's just not risk putting Fox back out there. He'll be fine and be back in the next game. I'm not worried really about Adam Fox. And if they do sit him next game, I don't think it's a big deal. Like, let some of these guys start to get rest. In my opinion, you're starting to get in a spot where you're in a comfortable lead to secure a division. You play the Coyotes next. Like, I feel like that's a game you should be able to win regardless of who's in the lineup. But this is the Rangers we're talking about, where they do like to play down to opponents. Yeah, Igor was unbelievable. Unbelievable. No letdown against Arizona. Good win, resilient, given the injuries to the D-man. But, man, Rosovic was awful tonight. Not impressed with him lately. That's someone I did want to get into that I'm glad you did bring this up, LCS. I have not been happy with Rosovic's play at all lately. Like, he has really been I'm not happy with him at all. And I know that he's in a role that he shouldn't be, but that's management's fault, not his fault. If you're going to blame that, that's management's fault and not his. And even then, he's got to be visibly way better than what he's been doing. Like the first few games, he looked very good. Like he was noticeable with his speed and forechecking. I don't know where it's been lately. Like I don't know if this is a thing with playing with Meek and Kreider or what, but man, he's got to get it going. Yeah, Kreider wasn't moving his feet enough throughout the entire game, to be honest. And he was on Fox so far, nothing, at least that I saw. You can't lay eggs on the easier opponents coming up. Two guys that need to score in the playoffs this run and need to get hot. Scored tonight in Kreider and Kakko. Huge goal for Kreids. I'd like to see him put more of an effort in on the defensive end. I'm sorry to be that guy, but some of his play was just not acceptable. It just wasn't. Igor bailed out a lot of poor plays that Chris Kreider made on the defensive end. Sorry, I'm going to be that guy to point it out. And yeah, the force east-west plays really hurt them as well. They got to clean up. Like I've been saying tonight, if they could, and I've been saying for weeks, if they could control the sloppiness that they have with the puck, it's going to make a big difference with this team. Even if they dial it down a bit, it's going to really make us look at this team like it's going to be a lot better looking at this team. And I know a lot of people are high on this team, and I'm not saying that I'm discrediting this team for what they've done this year, because at the end of the day, I'm happy about it. But all I'm saying is that you can clean up these things with the puck, and that all of a sudden takes this team to another level. And yeah, they do have to find ways to score on breakaways. They really do. It's very infuriating that they don't score on freaking breakaways. Colorado's really good at home. They also lost like one game this month before tonight and really wanted to clinch tonight. Rangers were sloppy, but at times, but prevailed. I agree with that, Michael. Yeah, I apologize again that the stream froze. Bad voice crack there. Jeez. Let's see. What else do we have in the chat? This team really needs home ice. The last change kills them. How many times do we see other teams top line skate circles around ours? They need to be a lot better. 1,000%. 1,000% agree. Okay, Fox made it back to the bench. Yeah, that's what I thought. I'm really not worried there. Yeah, Jones had a bonehead icing in overtime. I do agree with that. I agree that Jones probably shouldn't have been out there in overtime, but they didn't have any other options, to be honest with you. Everybody's hurt. They didn't have options. Like, you're not going to throw Lindgren out there in overtime. Fox was out. The only other guy that was really maybe going out there, the only other two were Schneider and Miller. That was about it. They really didn't have anyone else. Psych. The reason why I talk about what happens in the game is because I'm here to do a post-game recap. I'm analyzing the game. I'm not here to just talk about the fact that the Rangers won. I'm not saying that the Rangers are a bad team. I'm really not saying that at all. All I'm saying is, and I'm very happy they won, but there are things that did happen in the game that weren't necessarily crisp. And I'm not saying that doesn't happen throughout the course of a game. It's going to happen throughout the course of a game, but they do have to limit some of those things at the same time. Yeah, Schneider has been really solid lately. I love what Schneider's been, especially because I was critical of Schneider early in the year, and this second half has been good. The only thing we gotta hope is that this isn't a just stretch that he's putting together like just a fluke stretch. I don't think it is. I think that this is actually Schneider playing well, but remains to be seen, of course. Yeah, I'm not liking Rosovic's game. Yeah, I think they need to break up 20 and 93. Laviolette needs to talk to him and see if we can make more of that speed. Curious if there's playoff adjustments. I'm not sure what you're referring to with that. Maybe Rosovic. Yeah, Quick and Igor did bail. Have bailed them out a lot at times. Yeah, Trocheck, tough as nails, going out there in the shootout, getting the winner. Biz and Bobby Ryan thinking the Rangers are the biggest frauds. Bobby Ryan also thinks the Rangers are frauds and doesn't have the makeup to win in the playoffs. Hope Rangers shut him and Biz up, trap up, and the Rangers are hoisting the Stanley Cup. I hope so too. Really do. I would love that entirely. But we'll see. We will see. I mean, yeah, like I don't agree with Biz that the Rangers got dominated. I agree in the third period that it was ugly the way the Rangers played, but I wouldn't say they got dominated the entirety of the game. And overtime too. The Rangers didn't look great. The reason why it's a narrative is because of how good Igor Shesterkin is, JT. That's why it's a narrative that the Rangers are frauds. And on top of that, the other narrative is them being a one-line team with that second line. Like, that's why I'm just telling you why people say it. I'm just telling you why. The reason why people say it is because of the fact that they are a team that's viewed as a one-line team, and they're a team that's viewed to be carried by goaltending. That's why. Which I am curious, what is Igor Shesterkin's WAR on the year? 3.1. What about Quick? Quick has to be up there somewhere. Where's Jonathan Quick? 2.2. And then what is his what are the stats that I wanted to look at? Goal save above expected. 13.78. Crazy. Breaking up Mika and Kreider, y'all know they ain't happening. Like I said earlier, them staying together isn't love. It's coming from upstairs. Ain't no way 3 coaches in a row think keeping them together works. I agree with you, Matt. Well, at the same time, though, I mean, it did kind of work when Buchnevich was there, so it's hard to say that with Quinn, but they've tried to find magic out of something that just isn't there. I don't know about that. The thing that confuses me about Biz is, like, how is he saying? The thing that confuses me is that he pumps the Leafs tires a lot. I don't think the Leafs are all that. I'm sorry, I just don't think the Leafs are all that at all. Ryan is the fraud, just hilarious coming from him. Yeah. I don't know. Preds point streak over. Cats and Canucks lost tonight. Dang, I didn't even know the Nashville had their point streak, and a lot of streaks ended tonight. A lot of streaks ended tonight. Listen, though, I don't understand. I know we all like to give Kreider shit, but the guy is the second highest goal scorer on the team. He does need to put a better effort in, though, defensively. That's still my opinion, but I agree. I'd love it if they could do that. But again, I would rather them play shutdown defense. Like they played the first 2 periods. I'd rather them play that way and win games that way versus the other way where they're in shootouts. I mean, like I said, Marvin, a lot of things. It was a weird game. Like I love the way they played the first 2 periods. The third period was really all Igor. Overtime, all Igor. And the shootout, though, shootout to shootout. So I don't know. Zlaviot make adjustments in the playoffs for the whole team, and he has to make use of Rostovic's speed. I'm not sure, but Rostovic does need to use that damn speed. They need to use that speed as a whole. They need to turn it up in transition. No, I'm sad the Mets didn't play today. I was excited to go to Citi Field, but I will be there tomorrow with Matt, who's in the chat. Matt and I will be there. Probably going to do a live post game after the game from there. So if you're not subbed to my Mets channel and you're a Mets fan, go check that out, Mets Central. I'm excited to be at Citi Field tomorrow. Coyotes beat the Preds 8-4. That's crazy. Quick and net on Saturday? Yeah, probably. That would make sense. To go to Jonathan Quick, you got to go back to him at some point. But I am going to wrap things up here. Keep it a bit shorter because I do got to wake up earlier for tomorrow to go to Citi Field. And I do have some other content to make and stuff. So thank you guys so much for tuning into this post-game show. I really do appreciate it. Huge 2 points for the Rangers as they beat one of the hottest teams in the league. So you got to love it. You got to love that they beat one of the hottest teams in the league. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Leave a like if you haven't already. Subscribe if you haven't. Turn on your notifications so you know when I upload or go live next. And I'll see you guys in the next one.